Hi, and welcome to our next episode. Today, we are going to talk about how to change the observer that you are. So, last episode, I spoke about when you're not getting what you want in a certain area of your life. Most people go into trying a different approach, right? They'll try to have a different type of conversation and see how that goes. And most of the time, that's not going to work. And the reason that it's not going to work is because you're still in the same mindset. You still have the same belief about that situation. And as long as you have the same mindset in regards to whatever area of life you want to change, you're not going to change that result. Today, I want to focus on how to change the observer that you are, because that is which is your mindset. That's what's going to impact getting what you want in an area that you want to focus on. So there is a framework from Newfield Network that I'd like to talk about, which is the Bell model. The Bell model is body, emotions, and language. So imagine it's like a Venn diagram kind of, where you have three circles: body, emotion, language. And together in the middle, there's a synergy. When your body language is in coherence with your emotional state or your mood and the words that you're saying, both externally and internally in your head, you have reached full cohesion. And when you have full cohesion, it's basically your cue to go and take action. There are two types of actions that human beings take, and it's either a physical action or a conversation. Most of the accomplishments in life that we do are mainly conversational. Obviously, if you compete in a marathon, a triathlon, you go to the gym, you work in a job that requires a lot of physical activity or movement, that's different. But many people, most of the time, especially in their personal life, have a conversation to make things happen for them and open up possibilities. So, the reason why it's important to change the way you think about things is it opens your mind, right? We've all heard being open minded, being closed minded. When you change the way you see a situation, you all of a sudden have opened up a new realm of possibilities that you didn't consider before. What happens when you're limited to one way of thinking is that you don't see any other possibilities. So let's say you have five possibilities under that mindset. And you say, okay, if this one doesn't work out, if one doesn't work out, I'll try two. If two doesn't work out, I'll try three. Then I'll try four, then I'll try five. And then you're out of options and none of them have worked out for you. Then what do? You just give up, or you move on, or I don't know. It's not give up. Please don't give up. There's always, always, always a chance and a different way of seeing things. And there's always possibilities that you might have never considered. And the way to get those possibilities is by what I'm going to teach you today. Your body language is very important. There is 4 different body dispositions that you can adopt to work on when you want to have a certain type of mood or a certain language you want to use. The 4 types are grounded, stability, flexibility, and openness. In grounded, your body language would be standing like the trunk of a tree. You would stand up, your feet would be like hip width apart, but very strong and stern and long. Your spine would be upright and perhaps relaxed with your shoulders, and you're just grounded, you're stable. So imagine you're a tree. Nothing really can sway you. Like the wind can blow, but you're still there. That's grounded. And you can use that to have conversations that require for you to be stable and not lose your cool, right? Maybe conversations that require you to be even tempered, or that maybe can be heated. And then in terms of your emotion, being grounded, how would you feel when you're grounded? You'd feel calm, cool, even tempered, right? So those could be some emotional states that you might want to be in. And obviously that's going to help you out in that. So when you have those 3 together, when your body language is grounded, your mood is the same, and your words in your head and when you're having a conversation with someone are on this same frame, you will 100% get what you want. So I don't want to complicate it and make it seem like you have to know which one you're going to be in. So I would let your emotions tell you what to do. You can play with either one of them. So if you're more into body language, you can focus on which body disposition you want. The 4 body dispositions: resolute, grounded, flexible, and openness. Grounded and stability are the same. So it's number 1, grounded and stability. Number 2, resolute. Number 3, flexibility. And number 4, openness. If you're a body person, you can focus on a body disposition in order to get you in the mood that you want. That could be a way for you to do it. Grounded is how expressed. Resolute is having your legs a little bit more than hip distance apart and perhaps putting your hands on your hips. Or you can maybe even do like a warrior pose with a steady gaze and focused. Your eyes are focused on, like laser focused. Like that body disposition is more if you absolutely need to get something done. Like that's the attitude that you want to have with that. The mood that you're going to be in is determined, right? It's going to be focused. So if you're looking for that, that's the body disposition. The other one is flexibility. Flexibility is in your body disposition, standing up and just kind of like being like wavy, like letting your body loose and just imagine you're like shaking your body or like just waving your hands and just letting your body just roll at however you want it to roll. That's flexible. And again, being in the mood of flexibility can lead to very productive conversations too. If you find yourself being closed-minded, if you find yourself being stubborn, that can really help you. And the last body disposition is openness. And openness in your body language looks like you standing with your legs open, your hands open wide, your hands out to the world, and just being open, and your chest is back. So when that happens, that's going to lead to also a great conversation if you're looking for some vulnerability, right? If you've maybe been closed off and haven't wanted to express certain things that you need to express or how you feel, and you need that vulnerability, openness can be a great one for you. If it's easier to get into the right mood through your body, try those 4 body dispositions to get you there. Then we'll move into emotions. There's 4 basic emotions. There's an emotion of resentment. There's an emotion of resignation. There's an emotion of acceptance or peace. And there's an emotion of enthusiasm or ambition. And most people, I don't think, want to be in resentment or want to be in resignation. When you're in resentment, basically it means you have not accepted the facts of life. And when you're not accepting the facts of life, you are missing out on, again, possibilities for the future. You are not seeing those possibilities. So the way to move from resentment to acceptance is by accepting the facts, not denying them, not saying that they're not true, just accepting this is where you are right now. This is not where you're going to be forever, if that was a situation that you were struggling with. Another mood can be resignation. And resignation, it's about possibilities. It means you see no possibilities for the future. Nothing good can come of anything. And it's a very sad place to be in, because if you're really deep in resignation, it's basically a form of depression. And I'm not a therapist at all, but a deep level of resignation can lead to depression, or can also be seen as depression. And the way to move from resignation to enthusiasm or ambition is to accept that there could be possibilities. And so the way that you can do that is by showing gratitude, by writing down things that you do appreciate every day, and it could be little things. It doesn't have to be, big things. It can be, my coffee in the morning. It can be my dog. It can be the AC works. It can be, I have a home, I have shelter, some basic things that people might take for granted. You can list those things and show appreciation. And once you start doing that, you can start seeing potential opportunities and go from resignation into enthusiasm. Something else you can do to move from resentment and resignation is to forgive. And forgiveness is a very big milestone for many people that have gone through struggles and hard times. And in forgiveness, a lot of people have like this idea that if you forgive, it means that you are accepting what the other person has done. And in forgiveness, you're actually doing it for yourself and not for the other person. You are forgiving that that happened and that person, did whatever they did, and you forgive that situation. It doesn't mean you accept it, but you can make peace with that. If you can make peace with what happened for yourself, for your well being, then you can move on into other possibilities for the future. Otherwise, you will stay in resentment or in resignation. And it's very hard to live in peace from that. I know it's very, very, very tough and a very, very hard subject because there are things that really do seem unforgivable. But I invite you to try, even if it doesn't feel authentic in your head and in your mind. Even when you write it and you want to rip the paper in half or burn it, it's still important to list as many facts about what you'd like to forgive and not your opinions about it, and forgive that. Forgive that. What happened, the facts of what happened, and then find peace for yourself. So that is emotions. And then in language, it's all about what you say in your head and what you say on the outside. So if you're saying I'm in a good mood, but you're, grinding your teeth and like wanting to like hide, and you're like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like you've seen people that act like they're okay, but you can tell in their body language or in their facial expression that they're not fine. That is not being coherent with the Bell model, right? You're not in coherence. And when that happens, you are unable again to take any further actions to get results that you want because your body, emotion, and language are off. Something is off. And it also confuses the other person because you're saying something, your emotion's saying something else, and your body language is saying something else. And we are all human. And as much as we want to say, we don't know about these things, I don't have to teach you these things. We are intuitive human beings. When you see something and it's off. When someone's body language is off, when someone's emotions are off, when someone's language is off, you can pick up on those quick. So if now that, brought it to your awareness, something that you already know, maybe now you're going to pick up on it even more. And if you're the receiver of somebody that's not in coherence, then perhaps that moment is not the right time to talk to them. And you could just accept that it's just, maybe later. And if you're the person that's struggling with that, take a moment to not take any action. Do not take any action if you are aware of your behavior, of your language and your body, and you see that it's not in coherence. Don't, because you're not going to get the results that you want. I will leave it at that for today. So just to wrap up, if you want to get what you want, you need to change the way you observe the world, the way you observe the situation, the way you observe that area of your life that you want to change. And the way to know when to take your next step in order to get what you want, in order to take that next action, which is either a new conversation or a new physical action, you need to have your body, your emotion, and your language, both what you say in your head and externally, in coherence. When your body language is matching your mood and your mood is matching your language and vice versa, you're good to go. If it's not, take a break, reassess, and get back in the groove and then take action. So I hope you try it. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.